Happy 1 year anniversary, mighty number. Yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to.
Okay, I should probably stop hissing. It's getting spit on my computer. Okay, welcome
to Mighty Gunvolt Burst for the Nintendo Switch. It is also getting a 3DS release this Thursday as of this recording. So if you have a 3DS, then you can get this game too. So you guys may be wondering, what is Mighty Gunvolt Burst? Well, we should probably give you guys a quick history lesson. Mighty Number 9. That came out about a year ago, and I think we all know the story of that game. And we also got Azure Striker Gunvolt here, who came out well before Mighty Number 9, and is arguably the better franchise. I will agree with that, because I think, well, they both have their ups and downs in a way. But anyway, Mighty Number 9, the whole story of that is that in the year 20XX, I guess, breakthroughs in robotic technology have ushered in the era of society in the U.S. One day, the mighty numbers of a powerful team of robots developed by Dr. White suddenly began to lose control and cause chaos throughout the nation. The root of the problem was unknown. The ninth mighty number, a robot named Beck, was somehow unaffected by this phenomenon. Equipped with his ability to bring back his brothers and sisters back to normal, Beck was successful in returning them to their normal true selves. And that's the whole point of Mighty Number 9. So this game technically takes place afterwards. Hoping to better be prepared for such situations, Dr. White expedited the completion of an advanced weapons system that he has been researching for a while.
Beck, I made a new VR training program based off your experiences thus far. I have no idea how he sounds in the original because I think they voice acted.
This time, your weapons will be able to sync with you and power up evolve as you make progress. All right, let's get started. Something along those lines. Roger that, Professor.
So
we all remember who Beck was. That was Yuri Lowenthal.
So I mean, okay, I guess I'd say so this entire thing. Okay, so I get it. So what's happening is we are not actually playing the actual Beck. This is literally we are reliving Mighty Number 9 as a simulation.
Pretty much, yeah. Only this time, unlike in the original game where you had pretty much a dash ability that lets you absorb your enemies once you shoot them enough times, this game doesn't quite do that. Instead, it treats itself kind of like a Mega Man clone. Like, straight up. Not even more so than Mighty Number 9. Like, your shoot, bang bangs can get rid of them completely, and if you're because this game, and true to its namesake, this game has a mechanic called the burst system. What happens is you get a boost, pretty much can combo burst shots. And what burst shots are is that, well, you destroy an enemy when you're like straight up close to them.
Okay, so the point is to kill things at point blank.
Pretty much. If you fail to do that, then the combo meter will be reset. Now, don't worry, it's not really important to do all these burst shots. It's just for a better score.
Alright, what was with the fruit we were collecting?
Okay, so the fruit items in this game, well, I should probably give another history lesson real quick. Oh, by the way, yeah, this game is filled to the brim with all these secret rooms, and you can actually equip an ability a little later on where you can pretty much sense them with the Switch's HD Rumble feature.
Okay, that's cool.
Pretty much what they call dowsing. But anyway, Mighty Gunvolt Burst is actually an indirect sequel to another game called Mighty Gunvolt, which was essentially like a bonus game that was made alongside the original Azure Striker Gunvolt. And in that game, you could play as Gunvolt, you could play as Back here, and you even play as a character, that one angel chick from Galgun.
Oh, I forgot her name. But yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about.
I think it was Ekro. That's it, Ekro. That's her name.
Okay,
but
not from Double.
She was in Double Peace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was the main angel in that game. I think she might have been in the first game as well, but I think she might have had a smaller role or something. I don't know.
So I know it's a different angel that caused all the mess in the first Galgun.
Right. But anyway, this game is Mighty Gunvolt Burst is a direct sequel to that. In fact, I would dare say that this game feels more like an actual game than Mighty Gunvolt did, because again, Mighty Gunvolt was pretty much just made to be like a companion pack with Azure Striker Gunvolt. It had like five stages. 8 if you got the DLC back. Jesus Christ, back.
That's close. but
let be the mighty number.
So yeah, I'm sorry. You said something about getting fruit. Was that just a points thing, or?
They're sort of points. They were like that in the original game, but in this game you can actually use them to heal yourself.
Oh, and what's the customized thing? Because I noticed we were picking up things like, I think one of them was called Akonar or something for...
Okay, so the customization system in this game is pretty much the big gimmick. aside from the burst combo system. Basically, you can customize your character to play however you want, assuming you can get the appropriate parts and a certain amount of CP.
Okay. I don't think this is a mighty number, is it?
Oh no, this is the intro boss.
Oh. Okay.
Basically the not Guts Dozer from the Mega Man series of a sort. Now, one thing I should go ahead and bring up real quick. Even though this game, well, a good chunk of this game is pretty much Mighty Number 9, the demake. All the enemies, all the bosses in this game have somewhat different patterns than they did in the original game. So if you felt like the original game was a bit cheap in places, and I don't really blame you for feeling that way, this game isn't. Well, it's still pretty balls hard if you're not properly prepared, but. It's not a complete rehash of Mighty Number 9, if that means anything.
Nice.
And of course, if you destroy the boss close enough, you do get that burst. Woohoo!
Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. What's CP up there on the left?
CP, I don't know what exactly it stands for, but basically that's like your EXP meter. Like how much points you have in order to customize your character.
That's odd. I beat the stage, but it seems like I can't move on.
Oh, it's
Who's that? I've never seen this guy before.
Azure.
Maybe he's one of those GMs that helps you out if you're stuck.
My name is Gunvolt, the Azure Striker. Also known as GV, but I guess in this case you can also call me GM. This
Gunvolt?
world is under the control of my Azure Striker's septimal power. Come now, the real game is just getting started. Defeat the bosses and make your way to this world's final destination.
The internet?
Close enough.
Gunvolt, huh? Who in the world is this guy?
So yeah, Gunvolt there didn't look quite right. I mean, he
something.
was wearing a mask and was rocking a shade of purple. That was weird.
But, yeah, so this is like the crossover game. Okay, so some things have to be said. We'll just talk over this. I am surprised and impressed that anyone wanted to give Mighty Number 9 a chance after what happened.
Well, here's the funny story about that. This game was developed by Inti Creates, again, the same people that helped with it, that made Azure Striker Gunvolt, and even helped out bit by bit with Mighty Number 9. Apparently, Concept allowed Inti Creates to use the Mighty Number 9 characters free of charge. Like, they said, hey, you want to use them for a game? Fine, we're cool with that. You can make a game for us. In the meanwhile, let's see what happens when you start the game off as Gunvolt.
Okay, but yeah, I'll admit, I like Beck as a character. He's really cool. I like a new, like, Mega Man person, but and of course level 5 now has him, and we'll see where
Yeah, I do wonder how that's going to turn out, because I still think that's kind of weird that level 5 of all people would buy out Concept.
Because I don't think level 5 has ever done any sort of shoot-'em-up game like that. Or,
No.
actually, no, they did do something. It was I forget what it was called, but they didn't. I was on iOS, and level 5 did a almost. It was like a Galaga, freaking. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking over this. What was it called? That game where you were a white ship and a black ship, and you could swap between the colors.
Ikaruga?
Yeah, it was like an Ikaruga
That was
Galaga.
level 5, that was Treasure.
I know, but I'm saying it was similar to that game.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. You keep talking. I'm gonna tell me what's happening here. I'm gonna look
Alright, so basically, this intro sequence is pretty much telling you, like, how Gunvolt came to pretty much be in this entire game sequence. And I'm pretty much skipping the intro because, well, it's essentially the same thing, only with Gunvolt. Now, Gunvolt's abilities aren't really that much different from Beck from the get-go, but he does have special powers that are pretty much a carryover from his original game series. Like the spinny electro ball thingy, and later you can also get that giant electric sword.
Yeah.
Which
okay,
does
I got
do
it.
some decent
Okay, so
damage.
this is actually a game you would probably like. 'Cause it's actually really cool. So it was made for iOS games, like iPad, iPhone. I don't think it's on any actual console other than that yet. But it's a game called Liberation Maiden,
Oh, I've heard of that game.
and it has they even have Suda51 handling in it as well. So it's level 5 and Suda51 who made a shoot 'em up on the iOS.
That's also on the I think that technically got a start on the 3DS as well.
Oh.
Because that's all part of like a series of games that were made by different developers, pretty much budget titles with a little more budget. But like I remember, in fact, coincidentally, Concept actually made a game for that series called Bugs vs. Tanks.
Oh.
And if you're bugophobic, you're gonna hate that fucking game.
Even more so than, what was it, World Police or Space, whatever that World Defense Force? Earth Defense Force.
I would say so, yeah.
If you're bugophobic, do not play Earth Defense Force.
I'll take your word for that. But anyway, what we talked over is that Beck's excuse is that Gunvolt was warped here, and now he's pretty much pitted into it some sort of fighting tournament where he has to face his 8 brothers and sisters.
Did they mention siblings in the previous games, or?
Yeah, technically they're all Beck's the mighty numbers. They're technically all related to each other.
Ah.
So on that note, okay, so I'm sort of cheating with this look at, because now I'm playing as Gunvolt after doing some customization options, and I'll be doing the same with Beck in another stage we'll be showing them. But
okay.
Basically what I did is that through customization, I was able to give Gunvolt a stronger attack power, a bit more his shield, and I also gave him the ability to double jump.
Okay.
Which was actually his native ability in the original Mighty Gunvolt. But now you have to unlock it, and it's with one of the more annoying boss stages, I sadly have to say.
Now, for some of these customization options, are these things that you can buy from, or not earn with CP? Find just.
Oh no. These are all attachments that you find throughout the stage. The CP is basically just a currency of sorts.
Okay.
Like you can only add in like customization so long as you don't go over the CP limit.
Okay.
So yeah, unfortunately, unlike in his namesake series, Gunvolt cannot use his I forget the name of the attack, but basically you hold down the R button and he envelops himself in like this spherical electric shield of sorts. Yeah, exactly. Essentially septimal force. And basically with that, like say if you, like another thing about Gunvolt is that in his original namesake series, he could tag his opponents with the shots I'm making for example. They wouldn't do that much damage normally, but if you were to tag an opponent and then use your septimal force or whatever, it practically drains their HP like nothing else.
Does this, since it is kind of basically being a Mega Man-like, is this following the Mega Man standard of spikes will kill you one hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Though there is an upgrade you can get later on in the game where you can make it so that stuff that would normally kill you in a hit will only just damage you as opposed to completely kill you.
Okay.
Which can be helpful, but their spikes aren't really all that common, so I don't really use it. I don't really use it.
Alrighty. I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. This seems like a pretty fun game to try.
And honestly, if you were a little disappointed with the likes of say Mighty Number 9, then maybe this game could persuade you otherwise, because this feels more like a Mega Man game than Mighty Number 9 did. And you have
this is a lot of customizing.
Yeah, and let it be known, this is a lot of stuff that I collected throughout the entire adventure.
Like, wow, that was like, how much control do they give you over things?
A lot.
I mean,
granted, you're still gonna have to find them all first, but they give you a lot of options.
Awesome. I like that replayability. Assuming
if you want to play this game for yourself, it's available on the Ow. Oh yeah, by the way, there's no life system, so be thankful for that. Instead, you just get penalized for how many times you have to retry.
Okay.
That's all. But if you want to play this game for yourself, right now it is currently available on the Nintendo Switch for about, and it will get a 3DS version this Thursday as of this recording for about $10.
Okay.
So if you like what you're seeing, then I would recommend giving it a shot. Especially again, if you were slightly disappointed with how Mighty Number 9 turned out, because I guess this is sort of cheating considering this is an 8-bit game as opposed to a 3D game. But the amount of
what?
Oh, it's Cryo.
What's he doing here?
She's just here having a gay old time, but at the very least she's not here shoving us with nothing but ice puns.
But okay, I guess I was gonna ask, because yeah, I do like the chance for Mighty Number 9 people who still have faith in that game to basically get to play it again, but right this time. That was, that's probably why they gave them Mighty Number 9 for free. They're like, please make us a good game. We'll take anything.
I mean, the only thing I will say against Mighty Gunvolt Burst, and I can sort of understand why they did it, because, well, they sort of cheat them out of their original package, but basically, if this game allowed it so that Gunvolt could still do his little electric shield thingy, I mean the R button thingy, and if Beck could still do his little dash feature, which would let him absorb other opponents after being damaged a certain amount of times, then this really would be the better Mighty Number 9 completely.
Right. Oh, yeah, I guess I was going to ask about that. Since we still got another stage to show off. How would you, between, Zerstriker and Beck's, campaigns, how different, like, does it really feel like two different games?
Not completely. The most difference you're gonna get out of this package is that, how should I put this? Well, the main difference between the two is, again, Gunvolt has his specials that you can unlock throughout the journey. You do have the one from the get-go. Beck, on the other hand, I don't know what he has compared to that, but they both do have like an aerial ability, pretty much like in Gunvolt's case, he has the double jump. Beck has an air dash, which is actually pretty handy for stages like this.
Okay.
And again, if you have enough CP, you could practically double jump / dash jump like up to 3 times.
Wow.
Like once you get enough CP in this game, which requires a lot of replaying stages and all that stuff, Beck and Gunvolt can be pretty fucking broken.
Which is, it could be fun. I was gonna say, nice. I know that after we beat that stage, it said, "Oh, would you like this item or a pixel sticker?" Like, what are some of those things for?
Okay, so after beating a stage, you get the choice between 3 things. You can either increase your CP. You can get that boss's elemental properties. Like for example, Beck could, like, after beating that water boss, you could technically get her water her freeze element. My bad, her freeze element, which by itself is basically just. It's not really anything flashy like in the usual Mega Man games. It's basically just, it gives your Buster ice properties, which is really only useful for certain enemies or the boss that is weak to it.
Right, like how you used heat element in order to thaw out that ice block.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
That's really all there is to that. But
well, I'm glad with things like that there's replayability.
But yeah, you can get the element. Yeah, you can get the elemental. You can increase your CP if you want to, and you can get a cute little sticker which you can place on your See where the heart is? I technically place that there because it makes sense because that's your health meter. You can pretty much put any icon you collect and put it there. Like you can pretty much have a icon of the fat guy from Mighty Number 9. Make that your default.
But I like that. I'm assuming, like, let's say I beat the stage once, then I pick the ice element. I can beat it a second time and then get the CP up if I want it.
Exactly.
Oh, that's nice. I like replayability.
Mm-hmm. And it's not too bad either because these stages aren't really that long.
Okay.
Well, they're decent enough on your first playthrough when you're still fairly fresh. But once you're powered up to like where I'm at now, you can practically break through these in like 2 minutes at most.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm certainly. Oh, geez, that robot killed himself. Oh, no, it's gonna do it again.
Oh.
But
yeah.
I mean, I definitely am liking what I'm seeing here from NT Creates, right?
Yep, NT Creates. Again, same people that made Zerstriker Gunvolt, the original Mighty Gunvolt, and hell, like, back when they were still working with Capcom, they made the likes of Mega Man 9 and 10.
I guess I'll admit that I'm actually kind of now worried that Level 5 now owns Mighty Number 9 because I feel like it's gonna be like NT Creates. They literally just looked at freaking Mighty Number 9's creators and were like, can we have it? Yes, please give it to me. Please make a good game.
Well, it's funny you say that because that whole acquisition bullshit has pretty much been going on for a while now, which is pretty much the reason why we never got those 3DS and Vita versions of Mighty Number 9 yet.
Right, but I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like now Level 5 has them, it's going to be a little trickier to have Mighty Number 9 just appear in any old thing, since I feel like they have
yeah, I guess so. Unless level 5 is that lax. I mean, I know there's certain companies that are pretty lax about that. Like, again, Concept were pretty lax about that themselves, even though I guess that's not really the best example.
What the heck? What's the point of the rewind feature?
Oh yeah, Avi. Basically his pinch mode special is pretty much he pretty much records your movements and then his movements and yours, and then once that he's done recording, they pretty much turn into like doppelgangers that you have to avoid.
So yeah, so if you touch your own recording, you will take damage.
Yes.
Oh, that's actually neat. But yep, that he's dead again.
Yep, that's that. They are dead once more. Well, okay, actually, they were never really dead, but actually, that's the funny thing about it, because Mighty Number 9, you don't technically kill them. You basically just purify them from their
right,
insane
this
state.
is a
So here,
simulation, I thought.
yeah, this is a simulation. Here, you literally do blow them up. I wonder how cathartic that must be for Mighty Number 9 players that actually bothered to play this game.
Oh well. But
So yeah, with that said, that is it for our look at on Mighty Gunvolt Burst. Again, you can get on the Switch and eventually the 3DS for about $10, and if you think that's a good enough price point, I would say it's well worth your time and investment. And again, it does feel, unlike the original Mighty Gunvolt, this does feel like a full passion game. So you're definitely getting your money's worth.
yeah,
On that note, I'm JamesmanXtreme.
Lucky Jack 20.
And call this kind of crazy, but I'm tempted to actually do a commentary of Mighty Number 9. So look forward to that in the future. Till next time, guys.
Bye bye.